Oliver Anthony's country western song, Rich Men North of Richmond, has rocketed to the top of the charts. It has become something of a political hot potato, though. Some think it's a criticism of post-capitalist America, others see it as a Republican anthem. But what I want to do is an economic reading of the song. What is the grievance embedded in the song? Does it have merit? What's really going on here? But before we get into the lyrics, let's just address the title. The big city north of Richmond, Virginia is Washington, D.C. Oliver Anthony isn't exactly being subtle here. I don't think this is some Southern anthem against the North. He has already signaled that this song is how he thinks politicians have failed people like him.
I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay, so I can sit out here and waste my life away, drag back home and drown my troubles away.
This is a popular feeling amongst a lot of people. Some have expressed the sense that our current economy chews people up and undermines their humanity. People are spent like a natural resource instead of considering them as human beings.
It's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is.
This idea that the economy isn't what it used to be for people is a common theme. But this isn't just people's imagination. This is absolutely true. Globalization has meant competing for jobs with people all over the world. The changing structure of basic expenses like housing, education, healthcare has sapped households of their spending power. Companies are allowed to get bigger and more powerful than they ever have in history. And then they're given bailouts during downturns because they are too big to fail. And don't even get me started on how big investors on Wall Street also take advantage of the situation. So yeah, the economy is definitely different than it was when your parents or your grandparents lived in it.
Living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do, 'cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men, north the rich men.
The chorus shifts gears completely to the politicians and how they chase power, influence, and money. Essentially, Anthony is laying out the position that the world is worse for people like him, and the politicians don't care about the average person's well-being. They only care about whether they can control people to stay in power.
I wish politicians would look out for minors, and not just minors on an island somewhere.
So obviously he's talking about the horrible Jeffrey Epstein scandal. But the issue about helping industrial miners is a common problem that economists have identified for years. When economies shift and industries become obsolete, what's the right response for those who are displaced? This is not an easy policy question. Do you protect the industry? Do you help transition the workforce? Do you provide welfare assistance? Each one of these solutions has a benefit and a drawback. But Anthony clearly thinks that politicians aren't even having an honest debate about it. Instead of trying to fix a difficult problem, they will rage against something that doesn't affect the masses.
Lord, we got folks in the street, ain't got nothing to eat, and the obese milking welfare. Well, God, if you're 5'3" and you're 300 pounds, taxes ought not to pay for your bags of fudge rounds.
So this idea that people are taking advantage of welfare and that drains the system of resources for people who deserve it has been a long-standing talking point. Mostly it has been discredited. In fact, Bill Clinton led his reform of the welfare program on this assumption. But economists look back and mostly agree that it was probably just rhetoric. It's funny that most of us would not want to live our lives on welfare, but somehow we think other people would. Instead of this idea that there are lazy people living high on the hog on welfare, it's ridiculous to anyone who's really kind of spent any time understanding how much, or rather how little support welfare provides.
Men are putting themselves 6 feet in the ground, 'cause all this damn country does is keep on kicking them down. Lord, it's a damn shame what the world's gotten to for people like me, people like you. Wish I could just wake up and it not be true, but it is. Oh, it is living in the new world with an whole soul. These rich men north of Richmond, Lord knows they all just wanna have total control. Wanna know what you think, wanna know what you do, and they don't think you know, but I know that you do. 'Cause your dollar ain't shit, and it's taxed to no end, 'cause the rich men north of Richmond. I've been selling my soul, working all day, overtime hours for bullshit pay.
So how sharp is Anthony's criticism? Well, how much can you really do in one song? But he certainly expresses a contemporary feeling that the rich and powerful are doing nothing to help everyday Americans. I will say this. I think his complaint about welfare is largely warmed over talking points from the 1980s, and he has very little sense of what he should really be angry about when it comes to the rich and powerful. I think this is why the song has been a political hot potato. It's raw emotion with a fuzzy sense of where the problem really is. That means people can use the song to push their agenda instead of addressing the issue he brings up. In that way, it's kind of ironic that politicians are using Anthony's song in the same way he says they use Epstein's Island, as a reason for rage rather than addressing the actual issues. If you enjoyed this video and want more like it, please subscribe. If you have any comments, whether I missed something about the song, post them in the comments below. Thanks for watching.